The Hidden Way of the Forest. Part 5. Living the Hidden Way. The first light of dawn spilled over the forest canopy like molten gold, and Velislav awoke with a quiet clarity he had never known. The scroll rested beside him, but he no longer needed to read its words to feel their pulse. The teacher's wisdom had settled in his mind and heart, flowing with the rhythm of his breath, the movement of the forest, and the pulse of life itself. The village lay below the hill, sleepy and unaware of the transformation that had taken place in the boy who had once wandered aimlessly at its edge. Velislav descended the paths with calm awareness. Every footstep, every glance, every gesture was an act of presence. He no longer sought the teacher elsewhere. He carried the teacher in each action, each perception. The villagers noticed the change immediately. The old baker, who'd once scolded him for idleness, found Velislav quietly repairing the millstone without command or reward. Children, who had feared the forest and its spirits, approached him, drawn to the warmth in his eyes. The farmers, skeptical at first, watched as Velislav mediated disputes with patience, speaking only when his words carried the weight of insight rather than authority. One afternoon, a traveler arrived at the village, lost and weary. The villagers turned him away, wary of strangers, but Velislav knelt beside him, offering water and guidance. The traveler asked, "Why do you help me when others will not?" Velislav smiled, remembering the scroll and the teacher's words. The teacher said, "The kingdom is inside you, and it is outside you." The kingdom, he said gently, is not a place to find. It is in seeing and giving and being awake to help another is to find it. The traveler's eyes widened, and he rested in the quiet grace of the moment. Velislav realized that the teacher's kingdom was revealed not in miracles or grand feats, but in ordinary acts lived with extraordinary awareness. As the seasons turned, Velislav continued to walk the hidden way. He met Rusalka by the river, not as a test, but as a friend. He conversed with the Leshy under the moonlight, not with fear, but with understanding. He offered respect to the Vodianoi, acknowledging the rhythm of life in all beings. Each encounter, mystical or mundane, was a lesson, a reflection, a doorway to deeper perception. He returned often to the ancient oaks where Morana had first guided him there. Beneath their towering presence, he meditated on the sayings of the teacher. The teacher said, "He who has come to know the world has discovered a corpse, and he who has discovered a corpse is worthy of life." Velislav understood fully now. The corpse was not the world, nor the forest, nor the spirits. It was the dead weight of fear, attachment, and illusion within himself. By seeing it, embracing it, and letting it pass, he discovered true life. A life awake, connected, and free. One evening, under a sky lit by stars reflected in the river, Velislav spoke to Morana. "I feel the kingdom everywhere. I see the teacher in all things. But how do I share this with others who cannot see?" Morana's eyes glimmered. "You do not teach them with words alone. You teach them by living, by acting, perceiving, and being. The teacher's sayings are keys, but only those who turn them themselves can open the doors. You are a mirror. Velislav, let them glimpse the teacher in you, and some will follow their own hidden way." Velislav nodded. He walked back to the village, carrying no scroll, no staff, no grand gestures, only presence. The people saw a young man who was awake, whose eyes reflected calm, whose actions reflected awareness. Slowly, some began to notice the kingdom themselves in the turning of the soil, in the laughter of children, in the whispering wind through the trees. Years passed, and Velislav became a quiet guide in the village. A living example of the teacher's wisdom, not a preacher, not a ruler, not a miracle worker, but a man who saw the kingdom everywhere and shared it without a word when words were unnecessary. The forest remained his sanctuary, the spirits his companions, and the scroll, now worn and frayed, a silent reminder of the journey. He knew that the hidden way was not an end, but a living path, step by step, breath by